Are you an emerging business leader? How would you like a full-ride MBA scholarship? It's possible. The Ivy College of Business is offering a full scholarship for one standout student in the online MBA. This first Emerging Leader MBA Scholarship will be awarded to one qualified candidate who is ready to start classes in the fall of 2026. Apply by May 15th. The link is copied below. Reach your full potential with the Iowa State MBA.
The Business Records News Headlines podcast is brought to you by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University, where world-class faculty, staff, programs, and facilities come together to deliver business education for a rapidly changing world. At Ivy, students gain more than a degree, they gain real-world experience and the confidence to lead in any industry. Welcome to the Business Record Iowa News Headlines podcast presented by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University. This is your essential weekly briefing on local business news from across the state. I'm Business Record President Chris Conetzkey here with co-host Business Record Editor Sarah Diehn. We're starting with our Business Record Roundup, reviewing the top 3 stories reported by the Business Record Newsroom that you might have missed over the past week. Sarah, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Chris. The Simpson College Board of Trustees has selected the school's next president. Susan D. Stubner will be the 26th president of the private Indianola College. She joined Simpson as interim president in July following the death of former President Jay Byers earlier this year. Her selection follows a formal performance review conducted by national search firm Academic Search. Stubner has held senior administrative roles in higher education for over 20 years, most recently as president of Colby Sawyer College in New Hampshire. The Minnesota native received a bachelor's degree from Dartmouth College and master's and doctorate degrees from Harvard University.
Iowa banks reported loan, deposit, and asset growth in the third quarter despite continued inflationary pressures and economic uncertainty, according to federal data released last week. The 232 Iowa domiciled banks saw loans increase to $90.4 billion, up 1% from the previous quarter and 4% from last year. Deposits also increased from the second quarter to $108.9 billion. Iowa banks had $1.1 billion in net income through the third quarter. The average return on assets at Iowa banks, an overall indicator of bank performance, was 1.17% in the third quarter, which was an increase from 0.86% in the third quarter of 2024. The FDIC reported that national banking industry also saw loan and deposit growth. Total loans grew by 1.2% from the previous quarter to $13.2 trillion, and total deposits grew this quarter to $19.8 trillion, a slight increase from last quarter.
Texas real estate fund manager Woodside has acquired the Davis Brown Tower on 10th Street in downtown Des Moines with a plan to primarily focus on cosmetic upgrades and bringing in new tenants to the building. Woodside purchased the 13-story building and a 700-plus stall parking garage from Nashville-based Healing Realty Trust for $7.2 million. The building, built in 2007, currently has about 20,000 square feet of vacant Class A office space. Riley Hogan, a senior vice president at CBRE, which represented the seller, said the sale of the building represents the vibrancy of the market for Class A space downtown. Woodside was familiar with the Des Moines market, previously owning a commercial building in Clive until 2023. You can read all these stories in full and more news at businessrecord.com. Next up is our statewide headlines with the news you need to know from across Iowa.
The Iowa Capital Dispatch reports the 2025 corn and soybean harvest is complete in Iowa, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, but producers remain concerned about input costs, commodity prices, and markets after another challenging year for Iowa's ag economy. Will Cannon, a farmer and board member of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, said some fields saw reduced yields due to disease such as southern corn rust. Additionally, the federal government shutdown left farmers without data to decide how to market their harvest. The latest USDA report estimated corn yields at 186 bushels per acre nationally, excluding October yields.
Diehn & Co. reported net income of just over $1 billion for the fourth quarter that ended November 2, down from net income of $1.2 billion in the third quarter, amid ongoing margin pressure from tariffs and challenges in the large agriculture sector. Net income for the fiscal year also dropped from $7.1 billion in fiscal year 2024 to just over $5 billion in fiscal 2025. Global net sales and revenues increased 11% in the fourth quarter, but were down 12% for the year. Deere Chairman and CEO John May said in a statement the company believes 2026 will mark the bottom of the large ag cycle. Net income attributable to Deere & Co. for fiscal year 2026 is forecasted to fall between $4 billion and $4.75 billion. Deere employs more than 10,000 employees at its factories in Waterloo, Ankeny, Dubuque, Ottumwa, and other Iowa facilities.
Oskaloosa-based Musco Lighting, a manufacturer of LED lighting solutions, has purchased Insane Impact of Des Moines. Insane Impact is a national supplier of audio-visual equipment and mobile LED screen trailers. The company completed construction of its $3 million headquarters earlier this year. Insane Impact President Kyle Ortman told the Business Record the company's 90 employees will retain their jobs in the acquisition. Musco Lighting was founded in 1976 by Joe Crookham and Myron Gordon.
The Iowa Capital Dispatch reports Iowa State University is using a nearly $1 million grant to develop a training program to prepare students more quickly for semiconductor careers. The year-long program will provide students virtual and hands-on training in the foundational skills of the field. ISU professor and the project's team lead, Santosh Pandey, said courses teaching students to build semiconductor chips are in higher demand since the pandemic, but so is workforce-ready talent. With a predicted 61,000 unfilled positions in the field by 2030, Pandey said traditional education paths like master's and doctorate degrees are too long. Certain ISU students will be eligible, as well as students at several Iowa community colleges that ISU is partnering with.
Governor Kim Reynolds' office announced last week former Iowa Governor and U.S. Ambassador to China Terry Branstad will receive the Iowa Award, the state's highest citizen honor. The award was created to recognize Iowans' outstanding service in various fields or public service. Past recipients include Mamie Eisenhower, Norman Borlaug, Carrie Lane Chapman Catt, Simon Estes, and John Papa John. Reynolds will present the award to Branstad at 11 a.m. on December 11th at the state capitol. The Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University is proud to introduce the Emerging Leader MBA Scholarship, a full ride opportunity designed to develop Iowa's next generation of business leaders. Full ride, full potential. Learn more and apply online at ivybusiness.iastate.edu or by clicking the link in our show description. That's our show for today. Before we go, we have a few things for you to take with you through the rest of the week. Nominations are now open for our Deloitte CFO of the Year Award, which recognizes a chief financial officer who helps drive success of their company while maintaining a high ethical standard. You can submit a nomination at the link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen. The winner will be announced at our annual economic forecast event in late January. Lastly, are you looking for a volunteer opportunity over the holiday season? Individuals and organizations can find numerous ways to lend a helping hand on the United Way's Central Iowa Volunteer Hub. You can find more information and pass that along to your employees at unitedwaydm.org. The Business Record News headlines will be here each Wednesday to help you stay informed and in tune with the business community. If you rely on accurate, balanced news with the context you need to make decisions, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday.